update. Did you happen to see it yesterday at all, Caleb?
I did not. I saw people talking about it, but I did not check it out.
Well, I wanted to address it with you because it has to do with the whole Bogdan situation and what's going on with the Kings. So what Sam said was that first off, let's get to this. If there's no real viable market for a Buddy Hield trade, as sources say, then the first year Kings GM Monty McNair should be really reluctant about running it back with this group. Bogdan, whose presence means Buddy remains an unhappy sixth man, clearly wants to move on. So what I got from that is there's no market for Buddy Hield. I'm absolutely shocked to see that. I get the Buddy Hield drama, but I'm shocked. What do you think about that? Do you buy that?
No, I don't, because we saw what shooters were getting paid in free agency. I find it hard to believe that Buddy Hield, like a top 5, top 6 shooter in the league, find it hard to believe that he has no value. It would have to be a concern with like locker room issue or something that we're not aware of, but I don't think he has no trade value.
I don't think the fact is that he has no value. According to Buddy's group, it's more of the Kings asking for too much. And I don't know if, again, I don't know what you buy in this, but this is just what's being said. What's also said is that more from Sam Amick that the Kings owner, Vivek Ranadive, who is known to be extremely involved as always, and with increasing influence of his son, Anil, McNair finds himself facing similar forces of past Kings GMs. There are questions already arising about whether Vivek is truly empowering McNair. Problem or no problem?
That's a big problem because, for one, him being a voice in the GM's ear has, well, to be honest, it's kind of screwed you guys over a lot, right? I don't think I don't think it's good in any situation to really have the owner chirping in a lot when it comes to like the roster standpoint and everything, but he really has to take a step back and become like less involved, a lot less involved, and let Monty McNair do his thing, because in the draft, Monty McNair killed it. For a first-time GM, that was an amazing first-year draft. I mean, we have to see how the players play, but in terms of value, where guys were projected and everything, great draft. You got to let him spread his wings. You got to let him fly. You got to let him do his thing. I think it's a major problem.
I think Vivek is way too involved as usual, and I just don't think he lets go of that power that he has being an owner, because to me it's like this, Caleb, when he goes to these owners meetings, there's owners bragging about the shit that they do. They're like, oh, I did this, or I got this guy, or I did this. And I think that gets to Vivek a little bit, because at the end of the day, all these owners have egos. And yeah, while they hire general managers to do their jobs, a lot of the good ones will hire a general manager, stay out the way, and that's it. But some owners be like, okay, do this or do that, or approve of this or deny that. And I think that lets them talk in the meetings with other owners and kind of bring themselves up. And I think Vivek goes in with that mentality that I need to do more stuff. I get it. I hired Monty, but I still need to tell him, like, and to me, I'll finish this and I'll get to what I think. So Sam finished it off saying that the pitch that McNair made to get the job was to build a team around the 22-year-old De'Aaron Fox with similarly aged players, and that the 28-year-old Bogdan clearly wants to go. And, oh, by the way, there's a clear presence of a logjam now with Tyrese Halliburton. So the last thing he said was, the premise of this perspective is built largely on the previously mentioned idea that Buddy's trade market is relatively non-existent. If that's true, then keeping Bogdanovich is a purgatory move. If it's not, then perhaps you relieve pressure. But as they seek a fresh start, something's got to give. So what I'm getting from Sam is that he's saying Vivek wants Bogdan, McNair doesn't want Bogdan. I think McNair's like, you know what? I don't want more bad contracts. And I get it. If you guys saw last podcast, I was more on the, you have to sign Bogdan, you have to match it. But I'm actually against matching it. I changed my perspective, and here's why. I think if you don't match it, you let him go, whatever. You're not going to get much of an asset in general, even if you do keep him. Let him go, fine. You trade Buddy, most likely, since we're hearing here that the Kings are asking for too much, okay, I package Buddy, package Harrison, get rid of both of them. You only have one large deal left, and that's De'Aaron Fox for the next 5 years. After that, you take on bad contracts for first rounders. You tank this year. You tell De'Aaron, hey, you have Tyrese and Marvin. That's it. You're going to have to make it with whatever talent you have around them. It's just going to be young guys. I know it's going to suck, but we're doing this to get you the future. What do you think about that? What do you think is the smarter way for the Kings to go?
Go young, sign young free agents. Uh, just go young because getting these older guys, it's not going to do you any good. Like it's going to get you some extra wins, but at the end of the day, what does 3 extra wins really do for you? You're not going to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, sorry to break it to you, but
We're
maybe
not.
get a great draft pick. Like this year draft, like 2021, on the surface, now granted, take it with a grain of salt because things could change. It looks like a very good draft, and it looks like you could land that superstar number 2, maybe even better than Fox. I don't want to get too crazy because Fox has been amazing in the NBA. But if you land a guy like Cade Cunningham, that boosts you a lot, right? And I think it's smarter to go young. If you go old, it's not like it doesn't do anything for you. All you do is you get an extra win. Okay, so what? Like, what does that really do for you in the grand scheme of things?
It
You're not going to make
harms
the
you.
playoffs.
I think it harms you because by getting those extra wins, you're not really doing much. And right now, I love what Monty McNair's done. He hasn't signed anyone yet, and I love it. Why sign in a very weak free agent class where you're Sacramento? Sacramento's known that all they do, and Caleb, we talked about this with Richard. We remember this. Me and Richard were like, what was the last big free agent we signed? And we were like, Zebo and George Hill and just random guys.
Guys that are at the tail end of their career that need a payday.
Exactly. They just want to get money. And to me, it's like, we're not going to sign anyone, especially in a weak free agency class. Sacramento's not getting anyone big. There's no need to sign anyone crazy. Keep your salary. Who cares if you have salary space this year? Who cares if you have cap room? Save that. If I'm the Kings, here's my thing. For the next 5 years, I want to have, and I know this is going to sound extreme, but I'm genuinely being honest. For the next 3 to 4 years at least, I want the Kings to be having cap space every single summer. Why? Because that can allow us to get picks in return, allow us to take on bad contracts. And bad contracts, I'm not talking about Gordon Hayward style contract. I'm not talking about something
That's just dumb. Yeah.
something crazy. I'm talking about something like 2-year deals that are teams that just want to get rid of. You take those, you build those guys. You just worry about your young core. You build that. I think that's really good. I hope the Kings go that route, but Vivek needs to stay the hell away